Welcome to our Finesse Kitchen. Today we're going to talk about how to prepare your almond flour so that you have a perfect macaron shell. Because if your almond flour isn't perfect, even if you do everything else right, your shells aren't going to come out perfect. Let's get baking. Your almond flour is the most important ingredient in your macaron shell. You want to make sure that it's super fine, not coarse or lumpy. If there's any thick chunks of almond, what you need to do is put them into the food processor and just pulse them to make sure that they're super fine. We are going to sift them with our powdered sugar eventually, but you need to make sure to begin with that they're not coarse and lumpy because you don't want to have any big chunks. Now we're going to sift our almond flour. The reason we do this is even though we put it through the food processor, there may be some big chunks, and if your almond flour is soft, you didn't have to put it in the food processor to begin with, you still want to sift it. You just want to push through any chunks that you can. Anything that's left over, do not add that into your sifted almond flour mixture. You just want to toss that out. If there's a lot, then you may want to put that back into the food processor and start again. You can see that our almond flour is perfectly fine and nice and smooth, and we're ready to go. So now we have our powdered sugar, our 8 ounces, and our 6 ounces of almond flour. You need to make sure that you're using a kitchen scale when you're measuring these so that they're accurate. Next, you're just going to dump these into our strainer, and we're going to sift these together. It should be very easy because we've already strained the almond flour ahead of time, so we should just have to lightly kind of push everybody through. It's easy if you have a really wide sifter like this because you give it a little shake and just push everything through. If you have one of the small little ones, you kind of have to scoop and sift over and over again. Next, we're going to crack our egg whites. You want to make sure to remove any of the yolks, and if any yolk does break, you need to throw out the egg whites and start over because having any fat in the bowl around the edges will cause the egg whites not to whip. When you start your egg whites, you want to start to mix on a medium speed. Take your time, be patient, and don't whip too high too fast. And we're going for a medium stiff peak. Once your egg whites are at the medium stiff peak, now you want to turn the mixer down and gently add your sugar. You can add this nice and steady, you don't have to go too slow. Then we're going to mix for another 3 minutes for the sugar to dissolve. Once all of your sugar has been added, now is the time when you can add your food color. The amount that you add is up to you. Next, we're going to temper our egg whites into our dry ingredients. You want to take 2 good-sized scoops, about maybe a third of the egg whites, and just start to fold. You want to make sure that you're just gently folding, not deflating the egg whites, not squishing them, just a gentle scoop through the middle and then plop over. Once it starts to come together but not overmixed, then we can add the rest of our egg whites. You want to make sure to get all of the egg whites out of the bowl because you may think you're just leaving a little bit behind, but if you leave 1 egg white, that's 20% of your egg whites, which will really mess up the proportion of your mixture. So now you can see that our macaron batter is perfect and ready to go. You really want to be able to lift up the batter and it ribbons off like cake batter, and then everything that's down inside the bowl just kind of melts and settles into a little puddle. Okay, so now our batter is perfectly mixed and ready to pipe, rest, and then go into the oven for our shells to be complete. Thank you for joining our Finesse Kitchen today, and now you know how to perfectly make your macaron batter and ready to pipe, so stay tuned for our next video about that. And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Happy baking!